Okay, this is part two of chapter 10, and I think this is going to be a short part here because I I'm going to be doing policies towards externalities. But this first section, this section is about a particular type of positive externality known as a technology spillover. And this is defined as one firm's research and production efforts on other firms' access to technological advance. And so for government, what it should do is a subsidy. Now, and examples of this would be drug vaccinations or new drugs that have impacts not just on the individual but on society as a whole. This could also be the internet and the benefits that society as a whole get from the internet and Wi-Fi. And the question is how to give society more of this relative to what is privately beneficial to the individual sellers. Now, one thing that can be done is something called industrial policy, where the government actively intervenes in the economy that aims to promote technology enhancing industries. So this could be done on a federal government wide scale to literally pick and choose different companies or different industries, automobile industry, and the like. And oftentimes, local or state governments would do this by lowering tax rates in order to bring in certain companies into their locales. Um, this could be done for industry. This could be done for tech-based companies. It's oftentimes done for sports teams. Somehow manipulating the taxes so that the person is going to be coming in with a lower tax than everybody else. While this is not fair, this will bring, but the government is saying, well, we want your job. So what can we do to incentivize you to locate to our locale? And lower tax rates are oftentimes the way to do it in the United States. Now, another one that is done and is done all the time in the US and elsewhere is patents. So, a patent law is something set up by the US government, and it literally protects the rights of investors by giving them exclusive use of their inventions for a period of time. So, anybody who has an invention can register this with the patent office, and so then they would get exclusive rights for a period of time. I would think it's about 17 to 20 years. This is oftentimes done with really any manufactured product, and in particular, it's done for drugs. So you see drugs in this with patents, and oftentimes when a drug has first come out, it will have a huge price markup if it's perceived that people want it, and thus, and that's just because of the patent. Now, once the patent is over, then hopefully there'll be generic versions of the drug, and the price will be much cheaper. And an EpiPen was an example a couple 3 years ago, and the EpiPen, because people really felt they needed it, especially if you're an asthmatic. You could just put slap that EpiPen and inject it, and the child would not have so much of an asthmatic attack. Unfortunately, that it was the maker of EpiPens felt that, ooh, I could make a whole lot of money on this, and so they charged a really high price for this. We'll talk a little bit about this with regard to inelastic goods in a upcoming chapter. Now, finally, for this section, we have a reconsideration of vaccines, and in this case, A poll was done of economists, and the question was, considering the cost of restricting free choice and the share of people in the U.S. who choose not to vaccinate their children for measles, the social benefit of mandating measles vaccines for all Americans would exceed the social cost. In other words, having the vaccine would be a positive externality, and conversely, not having the vaccine would be a negative externality. So, really, oftentimes it depends on the point of view of the third party as to whether something is a positive or a negative externality. All right, that ends the second part of Chapter 10 Externalities.